What's up, everybody? Joss and Jay back with the America is Blue podcast. As always, plenty of exciting Chelsea action to get into. Is going to be a spectacular show. As always, I'm here with my man, Jay Himmelstein, and we are going to talk about not only what's going on with Brighton on the pitch, but what's going on in the respective boardrooms as we continue to struggle over players and they continue to bend us over the barrel. But before that, man, what's up with you, Jay? How are you feeling, brother?
Life is good, man. Life is real good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this squad. Little by little, it feels like we're starting to see some competent football out there. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I mean, being at the link, there was a lot of energy there, a lot of Chelsea jerseys, and I gotta be honest, I saw a lot more Brighton apparel than I had initially thought I was going to see. There were, plenty of Gull supporters out there. Shouts out to them. It's great to see, the game is growing and that there's, different fan bases all across the country. So that was actually, pretty cool to see. That being said, I was smiling at the same stuff you were. Granted, giving up that first goal was not what we wanted to see, but we did rebound quickly. And it was a lovely, lovely intentional flick by Mr. Nkunku to get us off the schneid and onto the score sheet.
You know, it's preseason, it's a friendly, so it's really hard to get too excited about this. But if we had gone down 1-0 pretty much in any competition, no matter what, whether we were doing a squad on squad scrimmage at Cobham, whoever scored first was going to win that game going away. So, and honestly, when they scored that goal, and it was again training ground goal, boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
header across the box, I'm like, fuck, we're in for it today. They're going to put another whooping on us. And then they did it. And we showed resolve, and we showed camaraderie, and we showed togetherness. And the guys pieced it together. They gained control of the game. And then eventually we got one back. We didn't see this in the character of this squad last year whatsoever. So, again, it's preseason, it's a friendly, but it's also a little bit more amped up of a friendly, given that it's against Brighton, and with all the static and all the shit that's gone on between these two clubs. The fact that we're fighting over a player and there's a lot of stuff going on, like you had mentioned, between the boardrooms. This was a very unfriendly friendly, and the fact that they were able to rebound and show some backbone and show that spine that we were begging for, I thought was great.
Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about the physicality and how unfriendly the friendly was, the fact of the matter is they got a guy sent off as and that was deserved, by all means that absolutely had to happen. So, those guys were definitely out there competing. It was nice to see some high quality football and us playing competent attacking football against, a legitimate side who's going to offer us some competition in the Premier League, and they're going to be playing in Europe and we're not. So that being said, like I said, I mean, I really liked what I saw from Nkuku, and thinking about this, man, and we'll have to go deeper. If it pans out, we really do have some exciting attacking options in front of us right now. And if we continue to, build on the squad and build on some continuity, hopefully we'll have some very, very, very dangerous combinations at the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the bodies are there. There are still guys that haven't gotten any minutes that I think we'd like to see, right? And not in Cuckoo. Noni Madueke hasn't gotten any game time. I'd like to see
No.
him out there a little bit. There's a lot of rumors swirling around about us picking up some additional wingers and some other guys who could potentially play in the middle. Um, it's coming together. And Mudrik getting his first minutes of the preseason, I thought he had some good moments. More than anything else, forgetting about any of the individual performances, just what a stark contrast between what we saw last year with guys just not knowing what to do with the ball, just complete indecisiveness, not knowing what their teammates were going to be doing, and having that cause just logjam between their ears. Right? Nobody was thinking quick. Nobody was acting quick. There were no quick passes. And Pochettino came on board. I think it was a couple of days after July 1st. So we're talking about
Yep.
3 weeks of being on the training ground. Guys look like they have some clue of what the hell is going on. So it's just a stark contrast between a professional coach and coaching matters versus what we were dealing with last year, which who the hell knows what that was. And it's
Mhm.
amazing to see little 1-2 combinations, give and goes, like simple things in theory, but that when executed well and when executed quickly are devastating. And we're seeing this constantly now. 9 goals in 2 friendly games is still nothing to sneeze at, regardless of the competition. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. And I hope that these guys could continue to build on it, continue to gain confidence. And I don't know, I'm getting excited about the season. I think we're going to put out a pretty decent product.
It's awesome. So I want to make a distinction. So when you think about some of the additions, and let's, by all measures, Mudryk is still a new addition.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in the winter, coming from Ukraine. Obviously, there's a little war going on over there. I don't know if you heard that. He's coming out of a very difficult situation. Finally gets a chance to settle, get acclimated. A permanent manager is now in place. That poor kid, got pulled over the rack last year. I mean, it was terrible. But seeing him, operate like that was fantastic. His goal made me the happiest. I just felt so happy for him. Just it's got to be something that's been wearing on him. There's no doubt about it. He's got to get onto the score sheet and open his account. Of course, it's a friendly. We know that it doesn't, really count, but it really mattered in the grand scheme of things because just to see his exuberance, his joy, it's going to help him enjoy it more and just be more of an integrated, seamless part of the team. I gotta say that made me the happiest. What actually makes me the most excited is Nick Jackson.
Yeah,
Ooh,
absolutely.
oh, ha.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, come on, baby. Like having an actual nine, it just this is Chelsea Football Club. Short of Didier Drogba and Diego Costa, we don't do nines. And it's been great to see this happening. And I almost don't want to believe it, but man, does he look the real thing. And he looked great live too. I mean, he pops out in person just as much as he does on television, at least the two times that we've seen him in blue. And man, he did not disappoint. And it makes me very excited.
Yeah, dude. I hope this isn't a flash in the pan. What we've seen has been so good, man. And we took all the things that Kai Havertz wasn't: decisive, good with the ball at his
Direct.
feet, direct, all over the park. All over the park. The guy picks up a ball on the left side. He picks up the ball on the right side. He squirts right up the middle. He can hold up play. He's making like how many times we were like, okay, these guys when they get to the final third, they shoot when they're not supposed to shoot. They pass when they're not supposed to pass. Every decision that they're making is wrong. And with this guy, he's just like calm, cool, collected, no matter how many dudes are around him. And he'll just flick a ball off, boom, right on a tee, bang, back of the net. That interchange between him and Mudryk was just beautiful.
Oof.
And even
Oof.
the goal that Connor scored, just to have the composure when you're surrounded by bodies and not freak out and not spaz and not do something stupid and not just flail at the ball and kick it right at a defender, get a deflection and automatically lose momentum, but to have the patience and the composure to just get that ball right into the perfect spot. Boom. It makes the goals look easy. And he's been amazing. So the finish off the ball from Kukurea, composure, and bang right to the
Awesome.
top corner. I mean,
Awesome.
we haven't had this in quite some time. I hope he's the real deal. It looks like the real deal. Let's just hope he
I
builds on
mean,
it
the
because we
speed
solves a
and again,
huge
just like,
problem.
oh, I mean, the biggest problem, and if he can really show himself as a guy who's in the 11, a guy you run out every week, that also helps Broya continue to
Yeah,
recover.
for sure.
If we're allowed to get maybe an Ivan Tony, into the mix, having some competition there as well. Striker then is not a problem. It's an absolute strength. And that certainly hasn't been the case for us for a number of years. And think about all the strikers we're starting to acquire, just plant around. We still got Fofana. He's going to go out on loan. Some of the other attacking talent that we're acquiring. We know that Angel Gabriel is going to go to Strasbourg, now owned by Blueco. So we know that he's going to be over with Patrice Vieira and be able to play, continue to grow. You know, this young attacking squad, Madueke, uh, obviously Mudryk, Jackson, these are all young guys who are with the program, and hopefully we can get this thing turned in the right direction and make some noise here.
So far, so good, man. I mean, it looks that way. And even if we're without even if we're without a true number 9, I don't feel bad with having Nkuku be the top of the spear. I think again, it's about the system of play and how we're generating scoring chances. That's what was missing. I mean, I would venture to say that even if we retained Kai Havertz, even with his deficiencies, being a number 9, I think that he would play great in the system, honestly. Because again, it's like these guys know exactly what to do. When you receive a ball, you know where you're going to expect the runner to be. You know how guys are flowing around the system. And these guys already looked, I mean, polished and well drilled. We're not seeing the indecision. We're not seeing those moments where the ball's at their feet and they just don't know what to do. It's just a stark contrast from what we've seen recently, and it's great. It's attractive football. It's fun. It gives you confidence that even if you go down a goal or two, that you have the wherewithal and you have the polish to be able to come back. The guys are going to have that confidence. The fans are going to have that confidence. Um, the defense, we'll talk about that in a little bit. It looks like we need a little bit of work there, but you know,
no doubt. Well, and I want to touch on that word right there, confidence. That was the word I had down for Nkunku. Like when he's out there, he just exudes the confidence. He's got a very classy elegance to his game, and that really definitely comes out. So if you've got the energy from the Nick Jackson, the energy from a Mudryk, the style and some of the flair maybe from a Madueke on the right, and you put in that cohesive, elegant scorer who can make a decision and play make and score goals with Nkunku, you got a really nice cocktail up there in the top half of the pitch for us. And yeah, if those guys can continue to work on those combinations, refine those 1-2s and some of those things that they're doing, the future really is bright. And it's nice to be cracking a wry smile and thinking ahead about some positive things that we can see happening instead of us just thinking that the world's falling all the time.
yeah. All right, so let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, I have my thoughts watching it from TV. We were raving after the Wrexham game about Andre Santos and Cesare Casadei. They didn't play together in this game. They overlapped each other. Did you keep an eye out for those guys? What did you think about seeing those two dudes live?
Well, I gotta admit, I did have my eye on Santos, not as much on Cesare when he came on. It was a little later on in the game, and I got a couple kids. So we in terms of Andre, he certainly looks the part. He's out there, he's confident, but he's still got a lot to learn. It's different being out there against Brighton than it is against Wrexham, without a doubt. And we gave up the early goal. What wasn't anybody's, wasn't his fault, I should say. But having their cages rattled and to see him to continue to play well, I really liked him. And that's almost the best part is when your midfield is just making the engine go and you're almost not saying anything about them, that means that it's really, really good play. Because on the other side, if you're just getting lashed in the middle, you can point out the problem areas quick. But I did like my performance from Andre, but it wasn't a standout performance. I guess I'd say that.
Yeah, I kind of I felt the same way. We didn't see the same openness to the game because again, Brighton's a much different team. They're a team that's
Yep.
played together. They're confident with each other. We didn't see those guys have as much time on the ball. We didn't see them go on. Although Cesare did have a couple of really good runs. I didn't see as many of the things where they had their head up or they had the time to have their head up and they were looking to pick out longer passes and looking to find those seams because I don't think the seams were there. So this is a good test for them. I thought it was a
No
good
doubt.
performance. It wasn't standout, so I agree with you on that. But you know, again, I'm excited to see how the midfield shapes up. All right, obviously there's some rumors as far as where we are with Caicedo, whether that's completely stalled, what Brighton's doing to hold that up. Um, you know, it'll be good to see these guys continue to go up against other Premier League teams as we're doing the U.S. tour and see how they can hold up against it because we may have to rely upon them for some portion of the season.
Well, here's the other thing. Like with the Caicedo stuff. I really don't like what I'm hearing out of the Brighton situation right now. I've got up here on the board, on the rundown board. I've got fuck Brighton. They're always ripping us off. That's what I have, over here, and that's what they do. And they've obviously done like a lot of really good business in the past couple of years with the Ben Whites of the world. Obviously, they got us with freaking Cucurella and the manager and the staff. And now with this Caicedo situation, it really sucks because the player wants to go. We gave a perfectly acceptable bid, especially for they've had him for like a year and a half. It's not like he's been with the club and he's a club legend. He's like 21 years old, and they bought him for dick, and they're about to sell him for a Brinks truck of cash. It's like, what else do you want? And you're crushing us. So what could be better? Just take the money and leave us the fuck alone. And I don't understand. And of course they keep on bringing up Levi Colwell, and we won't sell him, and they're saying that they want him as a make weight. Fuck those guys. Like these guys have some fucking balls, man. I don't like these dudes at all. Like,
I guess there's one way to really amp up a rapist, and it's to make yourself available. And we've done that. Like, dude, they know. They're like, dude, these guys again. All right, okay. So, it's one thing for them to bargain if they want to juice up the fee. If 60 isn't enough, 70 isn't enough, they want to get it up to 89. That's their prerogative. I'm fine with that. But to continually just let Levi Colwell be the sticking point is annoying. It's like, all right, if we're saying that that's off the table, let it go. You've already promised this player that you're going to let him leave. He did you a solid by staying last January when there were offers for him. It's kind of like do the right thing. Don't piss off the player. You're going to make a mess in your own clubhouse. So you might as well sell him, take some money. And I don't care listen, it's absolutely their right to ask for whatever the hell fee that they want. Hopefully they negotiate and they bring this down. But honestly, they know we need him. They know we need him. They know we don't have tons of alternatives that are bringing what that guy can bring as a two-way midfielder. So if they want to play hard to get, I get that. Just leave Levi Colwell out of the conversation. Don't let that be the thing that continually comes up. It's just silly.
Well, and especially now, it's like,
sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No. Well, I mean, I was just gonna say, especially with Fofana going down, it's like, hey, Brighton, sorry guys, can't do it. We just lost one of the best center backs in the league. We got to keep Levi.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And speaking of which, I thought he looked great. But dude, I definitely don't want to get rid of. I don't give a shit. I'd rather go without Moises Caicedo and find some other replacement in the midfield, or rely upon the young guys and even think about including him in a deal like that.
No,
dude, that dude, the way he can pick out passes from the back line, the balls that he was playing over the top,
lefty
were beautiful. Dude, for that, again, just to have a tool like that, which again is not something that we had last year whatsoever. We lost it with Rudiger. We had it with David Luiz for some period of time. But to have somebody from your back line that can just rip the top off of the defense and hit you in transition is such a beautiful asset. And he opened up multiple attacks playing from the back line. He can carry the ball forward. He's confident on the ball. The penalty was the penalty. I almost kind of felt like when I saw the replay that you could see his hamstring knot up in the middle of his leg. So again, he had a cramp. He pulled up. It was a clumsy tackle. It is what it is. But everything else that I saw from him, especially when he was playing next to Thiago Silva, I thought looked sharp. So
he's awesome.
No, he's not going anywhere.
No way. And I heard they offered like $30 million, and then they'll sell him for what, 80, 90. What, Harry Maguire went for 85. What are they going to try to get him for 95?
No.
Like, I mean,
no.
It's insane.
Dude, just make this about money. You make a bid, we come and counter, we find somewhere in the middle and call this thing a day and leave the player out of it. I don't know what more we have to tell them to be like, no, he's untouchable. Are we still talking here, or should we direct our attentions elsewhere?
Yeah, seriously, we got to do that.
It's just silly. It's been going on in the song.
It does. Well, then, speaking of other players either headed out or guys that might be coming in, I'd like to talk about Connor now. So that this has been very, very dicey topic around these parts for quite some time. Connor's your boy, not somebody that you've historically loved, But are you starting to see some improvement? Do you like what you're seeing more from him that you'd like to keep him around? Because again, as we all know, he's pure profit to the Chelsea books towards financial fair play. Do you think that you want to see Connor pack his bags? And he's proper
Two
Chels.
two goals in two preseason games obviously blinds us from some of the other things. When I see what Cesare Casadei is bringing to the midfield, what I see what Carney Chukwuemeka as a midfielder can bring to the game, what I see what Andre Santos is bringing to the game, I get excited in seeing that potential. I get excited because you're seeing flashes of creativity and movement and pace and intellect. Like they have a different level of understanding for this game than a guy like Conor Gallagher. And their ceiling is a billion times higher. Like those guys have the ability to be far, far, far better than Conor Gallagher will ever be. Now, forget the goals. Like if he would have missed the goal against Brighton, that would have been calamitous. He was standing right in front. There was no one in front of him. There's no way you should have not scored there. Right. So that was more about the play from Nicholas Jackson than it was about the goal from Conor Gallagher. What I can't stand about him, even what we've seen in these two games, he's got a little bit of that John Obi Mikel in him, where like literally every fucking pass goes backward. Every pass. I like the energy he brings when he's trying to close down players. I like the counter press. I like, obviously he's done some things on the offensive end. He's bagged 2 goals. That's all great stuff. But it's strange. It's like every single time he receives the ball on our half of the pitch, the ball never, ever, ever goes forward. He never makes a turn and runs and finds somebody. That drives me crazy.
He's not a dribbler.
I just don't get like what that is. And that was a lot of what we saw last season is guys just, again, running back, receiving the ball, not progressing. It doesn't even matter if they're being closed down. He may have a guy not within 10 yards of him. And still, the first thing he's going to do is just kick it right back to a center back. And I don't get that part of his game. So for me, still, even with the lack of depth, if you can get 40 million plus for him, I pulled the trigger immediately. I think he's a decent player. I don't think he gets better than decent.
If we get an offer for 40, yes. I mean, 40 mil for Connor?
The rumor is that the rumor is that's what West Ham offered for him.
Quid, by the way. I'm not that's pounds sterling, 40 million pounds sterling, not euros or any of that. I want 40 million. I would do it in a second. Quid.
I would do it in a second. I think that a guy like that is replaceable. And I think that we have better young talent. And I don't see if you can make that kind of pure profit on him. And if his true role is going to be, and the benefit he's going to bring to this club is that if you happen to have a lead and you need to throw him in there for 15 minutes of energy at the end of the game, that ain't worth it to me. Because I don't see a lot else.
All right, we got another outgoing player I want to talk about before we talk about 2 possible incomers. We got Callum Hudson-Odoi, who I didn't realize how much money he was making. He was making like $1.20 or something like that.
And
he was
when we
making a lot of money.
Him, we fucking threw the bag at him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Bayern were going to buy him for a ton of money. I remember
to lock it up.
But it looks like he is going to be headed out the door to Fulham, which I think is a great deal. I guess we rejected the first deal, but Callum Hudson-Odoi is a good player and he's still really young. They're going to get I think Callum Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic are going to get it's similar. I mean, we won't sell Callum Hudson-Odoi nearly for the Pulisic money, but AC Milan got a real bargain with Christian Pulisic, and I think that Fulham's going to get a great deal with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I mean, they're going to get him for pennies on the dollar from 10, what the 15, old valuations
maybe.
Were.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting more than 10 or 15 for him.
Yeah, like we'll see with that, but
which is fine. That's great.
Why not? And he's pure profit too. So just get him balanced. And then another interesting transfer target that's been popped out there today is Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. He's actually really freaking good. I remember watching him throughout the last year and some change. Very exciting player. Wore the number 7 this year for Crystal Palace. Was racking up some assists on some. On a less than stellar team. So he definitely brings something to the table. He could be another exciting young guy, but it's starting to look crowded up front, especially, I believe he plays up on the right. Um, so, you're adding a little bit more talent there, but what do you think about Michael Elise?
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Um,
And
I'm
he's
forgetting.
young.
I'm looking. I'm forgetting the other guy we've been rumored with from Ajax. I'm forgetting this
Oh, the
dude's name.
midfielder. Yeah.
They're all playing like similar positions. It's like between Ryan Cherky, the guy from Ajax, they're kind of similar where they can both play on the right side, but they can also play centrally, and maybe play in. When we're playing the 4-2-3-1, they're playing a little bit ahead of the midfielders where Chukwuemeka has been starting recently.
Hmm.
I like both of those guys also. Elise brings a different skill set. Like he's kind of a younger, potentially better version. Um, oh my god, what's his name? Of the guy who screwed up the deal with the PSG. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Hakeem Ziyech?
Yeah, he's kind of like that. He's got that wicked left foot. He's got the wicked left foot. He could just spin balls into the box. I would love that because we need Raheem Sterling is another sour spot from the game. He looks like shit, and
Yeah. He
I
just he looks off the pace for sure.
so if we think about the fact that he might not be the answer, you have Nani Madueke who you can put in there. We haven't seen him, so we don't know exactly how he's going to play within all these
And he's
guys.
coming off the World Cup. I know he had got a little time off and stuff
Yeah, no,
like
we just
that.
haven't seen
So
him. So it's like we don't know how that's going to fit in. Raheem Sterling has not looked the part. So bringing in
no.
a dude like that, who again is young, is super talented, is a playmaker, I I like it. Set pieces, corners, I like it a lot.
No,
How are you
man.
feeling about it?
No, look, I love the left foot. We do need some more attackers that are left footed. We need somebody else on that right side. Nani has an injury history. We can't rely on him for 38, Premier League games and cups and all that stuff. We need some more depth. And I do really like Cherokee as well. So look, we are doing a lot of acquisitions right now. We are acquiring a lot of talent. We're going to start stashing some guys around when the final rosters come out. It's going to be very interesting to see who we decide to keep. That
Yep.
mix of youth and youth. I don't know if there's aside from Raheem Sterling and Thiago Silva, we're not looking at very many senior profile guys on the squad. So, well, Chile's starting to get up there, obviously, as seasoned. Reese has been around for a while, but these guys are still pretty freaking young, man. It's a it's a young bunch, and that's another reason why it's so exciting. But look, man, 4-3 victory. Things are looking positive. What are you looking forward to the most in the next match as we continue, to develop and put a cap on this show here?
I mean, I'm feeling good about what I'm seeing offensively and in transition. I was a little bit concerned when this was kind of the tale of two games. It was the 1-1 portion of the game, and then there was the red card and everything that happened after that. Defensively, we looked like shit after we went
Not
up a
great,
man,
Bob.
and it looked like they were cutting right through us. So I think there's still some work that needs to be done on the defensive end. Obviously, we're a little bit short on bodies, but I want to see us solidify on the back. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see a little bit more progress here because I'm feeling very comfortable with what I'm seeing in the midfield and up top.
I
What about
love it,
you?
man. No, well, same thing, man. You can't give up two shorthanded goals. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't be up a man giving two goals up. It's just unacceptable,
yeah,
regardless of the circumstances. So yeah, we obviously got to tighten that up. But it's better to score four and give up three than it is to give up three and score less than that. So being on the right side of the stick is the place to be. So look, man. Wrapping up another fantastic show. This is great stuff. I really appreciate you coming out and doing this with me here. Everybody out there listening, everybody else tuning in wherever you're doing it, however you listen to us and watch our videos, we really appreciate it. Slam the like button, give us a comment and feedback. We always get back to you. Until next time, Josh and Jay signing off, and America is blue.